What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today we're going over BBCan11, episode number 19. And we basically started with where we left off from last episode. The fatal feast had just ended. We saw Santina be sent to jury after Ty was able to win the competition between him, Renee, and Santina, leaving just Renee and Santina as the nominees. And everyone was just kind of really processing what happened. Renee was upset that she was kind of the last one to be picked of the girls. Ty was confused on why Hope didn't save him and figured, well, he must now be with the other side more than with him. Daniel thinks that the change just kind of exposed the crown to everybody. Kuzi was also a little upset that it felt like her HOH really wasn't fully how she expected it to go, and now they're going right into another HOH competition, which, by the way, this HOH competition was very cool, very different than anything we've seen on Big Brother before, but we've seen it on the mall. This isn't the first time that I've mentioned this season has stolen something from the mole and the traders. The table that they use is legit just ripped from the traders. And this competition was pretty much exactly what they did on the mole. So this was called Pick Your Poison. And all the house guests were going to be given shots, except for Kuzi. She wasn't able to compete in this HOH since she was the outgoing HOH. And some of the shots are all going to be completely fine, but one of them is going to taste really bad. So when you take the shot, it's going to be nasty. So your goal is, when you take the shot, is to not show that it was a bad tasting shot. You basically want to act and bluff like, that tasted delicious, it was great. The other house guests would then have to guess who had the bad shot, which had the poison in it. That's what they were calling it. Now, if you would get it right on who had the poison shot, they were eliminated from the competition. If no one got it right who had the bad shot, that person would then get to choose who they wanted eliminated. So it was really interesting. The only problem is it was very gameable. And Claudia caught on very quickly. She said, which also is kind of weird, her little showmance that she's having with Ty, she decided she didn't want Ty to win, so she just picked Ty every single time, meaning that whenever Ty would get the shot, he was going to be eliminated. She didn't have to worry about eliminating anybody else. She just was voting Ty each time. And that was how this was very, very gameable. If you just voted for the person that you didn't want to win, eventually they would get the bad shot and they would be the one that was eliminated. So what probably should have worked out better is if you picked who got the shot, you got a point. If nobody was able to pick who got the shot, then they were able to eliminate somebody, that would have been a little bit more interesting. But the way this all kind of worked out, it felt very quick that they were able to kind of gamify the system a little bit more than it was probably intended to be done. But overall, I thought it was really, really cool. It was a great concept, and I love when they do something that's different. Again, though, this was straight ripped from the mold. They had a thing where they had different courses. Some of the food was good. Some of it was really spicy or really sour or just weird. Like one round, they gave them all beers, but instead of beers, one of them was like apple cider vinegar. So it was like you were taking a drink of a beer or you were taking a drink of an apple cider vinegar, and you kind of had to hide whether or not it tasted bad or not. So I like the concept, but again, it was very gameable. Eventually, though, it does come down to Claudia and Nene, and they have a tiebreaker for how many balls were in the competition with the slide, and they had to throw the balls into the net. And Claudia was only like 2 off. She said 613, and it ended up being like 615. So she was really close to that final answer, and she ends up winning HOH. Now, she initially Can't say that word right now. Initial. We're just going to give up on that one. She wants to target Ty. She wants to target Ty. She ends up taking Nene on her trip to Wendy's, which, by the way, it was Topaz who was the alumni in the Wendy's window, giving Claudia her food. So kind of cool to see Topaz back from season 1 with just being a great house guest overall. And then, of course, the iconic failed vote for Gary, where she voted for the wrong person to win the game, which was just an incredible moment, and probably one of the big reasons why Big Brother Canada was able to stick around for as long as it did. That really was able to put it not only on the map in Canada, but that was how I originally even heard there was a Big Brother Canada, was after the first season, and I heard there was like a messed up vote at the finale. So then I went back and I watched the whole first season, and I was hooked ever since on Big Brother Canada. But we had Nene, who was trying to tell Claudia, like, hey, like, I don't think it's actually a good idea to nominate Ty. Like, she was trying to push against that. Ty also made pitches for why it didn't make sense for her to put him up. But in the end, she does nominate Hope and Ty, which, again, it just seems like for Claudia's game in particular, right? It just doesn't make sense to nominate Ty. Ty is someone that would not have nominated her at all. So for her, yeah, nominating Hope sounds like a great idea. Daniel is someone she seems like she has a close bond with. He was the one who kind of passed the chain of safety to them. He passed it to Nene, who then gave it to Claudia. So they feel kind of good with Daniel. Anika is maybe someone they feel good with, and Kuzi, but overall, those are two people that you would think she would know would nominate her before Ty ever would. So it would have made more sense, at least if I was Claudia, to nominate Hope and Kuzi, Hope and Anika, something along those lines. But instead, she ended up going with Hope and Ty. We then get some more drama when it gets to the veto pick ceremony. So we had Hope and Ty, who are going to be competing. They would end up competing against Nene, Anika, and then with house guest choice, Claudia chose Renee to be the house guest to compete in the competition. And Kuzi was very upset with this. She was like, why would you choose her? Like, why not choose me? Well, I can see where there could be an argument that Renee is not as good at competitions as Kuzi is, right? Renee has not won, I think, a single thing. If anything, she's been last place in every single competition she's been in. And yes, it could make sense to you have Kuzi be the one to compete if you wanted the nominations to stay the same, because Kuzi wouldn't necessarily want to use it, because then two of her closest allies would probably be the replacement nominee, because Claudia is not going to put up Renee and she's not going to put up Nene. So if Kuzi, let's say, used the veto on Ty, it would end up being Daniel or Anika who would end up going on to the block. And then it would probably be Hope still, who is evicted that week. But if you don't trust that Kuzi wouldn't use that veto on Ty, if there's any doubt in your mind that she wouldn't take Ty down, you can't pick Kuzi. And that's pretty much how Claudia was going with it. If she chooses Renee, if she would win it, would do what Claudia would want with it, where she doesn't know what Kuzi would do with it. And that's the big concern from Claudia is, I don't know if Kuzi would use it or not. She probably wouldn't use it, but Claudia doesn't necessarily know that Kuzi wouldn't use it. Meanwhile, we then get to the actual veto competition itself, which was also a very, very cool competition. We had these ropes. They were kind of almost like bungee cords in a way, with handles on them, and they had to use those ropes to move the ball down these long ropes that are tied to the other side of the floor and roll that ball along. So you had to kind of keep the ropes tight, but also close together so that they weren't spread apart too far and fall. And then you had to place them onto pedestals along the way. It gets down really close between Hope and Ty. Hope actually kind of blows it. He had one ball left, but he was shaking and like just couldn't hang on. And eventually that ball drops, and Ty is the one who wins the veto. We don't get a veto ceremony, but obviously Ty's going to use it on himself. We already know who the nominee, replacement nominee is, which I guess we can talk about here in just a couple of seconds, because I want to give you a fair spoiler warning if you don't want to know who gets nominated for eviction as the replacement for Ty. Now would probably be your time to click off this video, but in 3, 2, 1, it ends up being Kuzi, who is the replacement nominee. So it's Hope and Kuzi up on the block for the eviction, who will be going to jury. Now, Kuzi's probably the front runner to win, but it probably makes sense to get Hope out as well. Especially if you're the girls, you're more likely to want to have to only deal with Kuzi than have to deal with Ty and Hope in competitions. Hope, I think he's actually going to end up keeping Kuzi, even though it probably would make more sense to vote Hope out, because then you're having less of a competition for Ty, because Ty, if he wants to make it, he's got to win out all these competitions pretty much. He needs to win every competition he's eligible to win in order to stay in this game, whether it's an HOH or the vetoes. He needs to win those to keep his safety and stick around, because as long as he wins, he can't be taken out of the game. But it's very likely that as soon as he loses safety, he will be evicted and put up on the block. Even now with Claudia having already put him on the block, which was just wild that she chose to do that. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But what did you guys think of the episode? I really enjoyed it. I do think the competitions, if they do return, need a little bit of work, because I thought, especially that pick your poison one was a little bit gameable, right? Like I'd like to see it where it wasn't just as easy as just picking who you didn't want to win and knocking them out of the competition that way, which Claudia ended up doing, even though it seems weird that she's going for that. It's the weirdest showmance we've ever had in Big Brother. It just doesn't make any sense why they still flirt. Even on the dailies, they continue to flirt. Which, by the way, we didn't have a daily update today. Or for the last daily, I should say. We will probably get a daily today before the episode airs. And we'll have an update for that if it's worth it. I didn't do one for the last daily because it was so pointless. It was even worse than the dailies that had like hour-long games in them. This one, they were talking about doing a game of hide and seek. They were making tacos, they were eating tacos, and they were taking a nap. Like, that was it. The only actual game talk we did get from there is Ty did say to Claudia, even though she put him up on the block, if he were to win HOH, he told her that he wouldn't just come after her with revenge and put her on the block. He still thinks that there's a possibility they could work together. So it's just a wild showmance between those two. But what do you guys think? What did you think of the episode? If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, you never miss a stream. Also, check out the links to all my socials in the description and a pinned comment down below. My Twitch, my Twitter, my Discord, the new Kick stream. We were actually live watching Survivor before the episode yesterday. So make sure you check that out and come follow us over there and join us for the Survivor watch-alongs. But thank you guys again so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you next time.